您的免费听歌时长已用完，您可开通会员或观看一则小视频继续畅听。
Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. It's lovely to see you all here. We've got another fun day of sessions planned. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Alison Craddock. I will be your Master of Ceremonies this morning, and I'm a member of the GEO Program Board. So, all right, so to start us off, we'll have Paula give us a recap of yesterday. Paula?
Good morning, and thank you for being here at 8 o'clock and start this second day of the Open Data, Open Knowledge workshop. We are numerous, and the room is big, so it looks like we are not many, but we are here. And we are super happy to start this second day, where the different session will bring us into how open data, open knowledge are really an integral part of the GeoWorld program activities. In the focus areas, the redefined focus areas, and what does it mean implementing open knowledge? What do we need? We will discuss many different things. But before going there, I'd like to mention something I learned this morning, which I think is valuable to share with you all. Landsat 7 took the last imagery. So in the second day of ODOC, we can celebrate Landsat 7 as we have celebrated the opening yesterday during the opening of ODOC, while Sentinel-C is starting to take the new imagery. So it's the cycle of life that is in GEO that we celebrate. But we really, I think we can celebrate what the day of yesterday was a very rich day, and probably you share with us the enthusiasm of starting at 8 and ending at 6:30, and still willing to discuss about the importance of the work we are doing of the data knowledge in GEO. Yesterday, next slide is me. Okay, yes. So yesterday we witnessed the opening of ODOC by walking in the shoes of those who did a tremendous job before us. We heard from Barbara Ryan, we heard from Gilberto Camara, and the work to open up the data. We heard from the director of UN Center for Geospatial Knowledge. We heard from Yuki Bai. We heard from Bente on the history of GEO, and we heard from Mengestab Haile on the value of open data and knowledge in Africa. So during this opening, we hope you felt the core of the importance of the work we're doing, that has gently led us into understanding how we are really concretely implementing open knowledge in GEO. And we heard about the GEO Knowledge Hub, where it stands now, the content, the user engagement, about our partners, our POs, like FAO, and the existence of additional knowledge platform with whom we have to integrate, do partnerships. And the role of knowledge provider, who are the ones, without those, we could not advance and make open knowledge a reality. We've moved gently into the space and DataCube session, where the key message was definitely GEO is the glue among all these existing extraordinary platforms and tools and efforts done at regional level. We heard from all the efforts done at the AOGEO region, the efforts done in EuroGeo, the efforts in the data cubes at regional level, like Digital Earth Africa, but also the efforts done at national level with the national data cubes and the challenges they're having at national level. But all this, GEO is the convening power, is the glue among these efforts scattered across the globe with only one goal, to have an impact on our world societal, socio-environmental challenges. We then move to the in situ data, where we witness the advancement of the geo in situ data strategy. We will learn all this later tonight, all the details of each session. So at the closing, we'll have all moderators reporting. But just to walk you through, the in situ data strategy is a document, not only a document, discussion that we are having that will be hopefully finalized very soon, where we can integrate the role of GEO for in situ data. We heard about the challenges of in situ data, but also existing tools to make sure that in situ data can be well documented, interoperable, and how we can hear from the needs from GEO work program activities with the GREX. The cost, and we heard also from efforts done at citizen science level during disaster management from the humanitarian OpenStreetMap. So there was a lot. Just that was the morning. And it was quite intense. In the afternoon, we moved with the UAV session, which was a premiere for GEO. Was the very first time we are discussing how we can incorporate uncrewed vehicles within the GEO work program, within the GEO activities. What would be the role of the uncrewed vehicles for precision agriculture? We heard from precision agriculture, for emergency response, or from the Indigenous Alliance. And again, I hope you share this feeling that we need to incorporate them into the GEO work program, into the data and knowledge working group. And making sure that this technology that is not so new, but still it is kind of new, it is that bridge between the satellite and in situ, and could be the technology that can fill some of the gaps and see how we can leverage it. Then we moved to the youth, and that was fireworks. We heard them. We heard their power, their energy, the willingness to be part of the GEO community, but to bring their competences, their work, their energy, and we need to help them. We need to help them increasing the competences. We heard from Geoversity, from ITC, about the efforts they're doing with their training platform, and the role they could have in helping us advancing open knowledge, and the importance for them, for us, to get them involved, to get involved with universities, and move this forward also in the hands of the young. So how do we get them involved in the GEO community officially, but just not on paper, on action? And we moved to the national GEOs, the importance of national GEOs as the smaller scale, but very powerful convener of the GEO messages, and the role of that open data and open knowledge has in making sure that the problems in their countries can be easily responded by having easier access to discovery access and use what is already existing. So they talked a lot about leveraging the GEO Knowledge Hub as one of the tools to empower them. Is definitely one of the thread line where we will have good work and good integration with the community. And we finalized the day with the Indigenous Alliance presentation, and was a beauty. We had the pleasure and the honor to have all of the Indigenous Alliance representatives here in China, been traveling from all over the world and learning about the different activities with different challenges that they do face to protect the environment, which is not their environment, it's our environment, it's our whole world, but they are the custodian of the environment. They are closer to the land than what we are, probably all of us. So the importance to support them, we heard also challenges about financial funding. And so definitely the open knowledge is also something that is very important for them. There's been a discussion about whether the GeoKnowledge Hub could be hosting some of their initial efforts of applications, products that they are producing, not to lose that, to make sure that this is well preserved. So I would like to, I don't know what time it is. It's 8:13. I would like to end up here congratulating again all the speakers and the moderators for yesterday's sessions, and all of you for engaging in the discussion, because this is why we're here. We need to hear from the community how to move forward. And GEO is a community-based organization, so we value the inputs, the discussion we had during the day yesterday. So we are ready to move today to a second day of a set of different sessions that are reflecting the new focus areas in GEO, which will be, the first will be agriculture and food security, water and land sustainability. In fact, we scattered them all to make sure you were awake. The third would be weather and disaster. Then we will have a keynote at 2 o'clock from the founder of Alibaba Cloud. And we need the cloud providers in the game to make sure we go into a second step of processing power, of cloud computing, and using the newest technology. So the cloud providers are an integral actor of the GEO landscape, where we need to move towards using the newest technologies. We'll then hear from biodiversity and carbon management, climate, energy, and urbanization, and then we'll finish with One Health. And at the end of that, we'll have the closing session, where all moderators will go with one slide and tell us the detail of each of the session we went through. So with this, I have finished the introduction. We are earlier than expected. So are there any questions from the floor? Any addition that you would like to bring? Yes.
If it was successful, what would we end up with today if it was successful?
Thank you, Lawrence. So we are, in GEO, we are discussing how let me not just go on the infrastructure side. We've seen from yesterday, starting from the opening, looking at history, that GEO has been having a tremendous role on opening, advancing the data sharing, not only data sharing, advancing knowledge, open knowledge. And we have been working to make sure that data were open. We've been working to start to glue together all the different data providers into what we know the GEOS platform. We started to collect with the open knowledge statement. We endorsed the open knowledge statement in 2021. We built the Geo Knowledge Hub to make sure we have not only data, but also applications. And I think today we are in the new post-2025 strategy at the turning point where we need to make sure that Geo is not only collecting and connecting data and knowledge, but is organizing them into services. We read this very strongly in the post-2025 strategy. What are those services? How do we define those services? And how do we define Earth Intelligence for All? Because yesterday during the space data session, we heard, yes, Earth Intelligence for All is super important. Everybody needs to have access to Earth information, but at different level. You have the highly technical people, the geospatial technicians, and the decision makers, those who don't know anything about the technology behind. So in the geo infrastructure that we are relooking at it, what today we are super keen to listen is how do we structure, how do we reorganize those data and application, those tools, okay, those valuable elements that are scattered, right? We have many of them, but they're scattered. And we don't have all of them, in fact. In the ecosystem, big ecosystem of the geo-infrastructure, we have not yet connected the Copernicus Space Data ecosystem. We have not connected yet the data cubes. They are there, but they are not directly discoverable by anywhere in the geo-infrastructure. So, but not only that, what are the priority services? What are the priority scenarios, the priority problems that GEO should address in agriculture and food security? Is it, and we should mimic that into the GEO infrastructure. And let me give you an example. I am a user, I am in Congo, and I need to know what are the best fit for use, open data, and available application to do crop monitoring in my country. So I go into the GEO infrastructure and I discover that GEO is providing me a pre-curated set of, like the ingredients, a cookbook. I have the list of the ingredients that I need to do crop monitoring, and I have the source of those who could help me together with the applications. So what today from those sessions we like to hear is what are the priority services, scenarios that we should address for each of those thematic sessions. And I see Marie-Françoise wanted to add something.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate. I certainly came in with my own thoughts and intentions for the day, but that's helpful for you all to help me think about additional ways that I should be listening. I guess I'm also sort of wondering, sort of like either what data or what services and all that need continuity. What are the priority ones for continuity, as well as what are the ones that might be at risk, either that risk of not continuing or maybe at risk of not being open. And then I'd also be wondering to know if people know if there is data or there are other things like that that are not open, that they know is out there, and what role might GEO be able to play to help encourage them to be open.
What are the challenges, for example, for in situ data? There are enough in situ data for those activities, but there is another step that we are also keen to learn today and engage in identifying actions. Is GEO has tremendous amount of knowledge that is already developed, applications at different maturity level. And the GEO Knowledge Hub is there to make sure nothing is lost and is amplified. And so what is our role? Because we've been doing baby steps, which were very successful on engaging the users. We talk about the users, and they are our goal. So making sure that in the GEO Knowledge Hub, we host those applications is rule number one. Rule number two is to engage with users. How do we do this best? We have examples we'll hear later from GeoGlam. That was a good success, 250 users from 60 countries, 150 different organizations who are keen to learn more, how they can use those open applications. And this is valid for all the other focus areas. And once we start to have the users getting into GEO and learning about it's so powerful. So this is one of the other goals today.
As someone who's also involved in the GEO Work Program with an initiative, and I have a proposal to be writing over the next 5 weeks, or my team does, I guess I'm also going to be looking to see how can my proposal integrate or connect to some of these items. And I guess I'm wondering, is that also a way to be listening today for all those of us who are involved with GEO Work Program, flagships, initiatives, whether we're going to be on the pipeline or whether we're going to be conveners? I mean, should we also be listening for how our proposals can connect?
Yes, I see Becca wants to answer.
Yeah, thank you, Lawrence, for your question and comments, because we are in the data and knowledge working group. So our concern is the data and the knowledge and how we are facilitating the sharing, identifying gaps. This is all history. You have been in GEO for a long time. So we are focusing on that. Listening to the communities will give us directions, ideas on where we can develop, for instance, the knowledge management principles. We need to know where the pain points are, provide that to those communities, to the rest of the GEO Work Program. So our concern is the data, continue to make the data available, share it, and facilitate, the community, help the community facilitate that, because this is really a community effort. So, but I see there's a great challenge for us now to develop what is knowledge management in GEO. Knowledge management as a concept is not new, but what does it mean for us? And today, we will get some, in the program, we will get some ideas on what that might be.
Great, let's get started.
Yes, excellent. So with Alison. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paula, for that great recap and some inspiring talks about how we can make the most of our day together. So our first session this morning is agriculture and food security. As we've discussed, the Group on Earth Observations is transitioning from its previous engagement priorities, such as the Sustainable Development Goals and Paris Agreement, to a new set of thematic areas, including agriculture and food security, water and land sustainability, and One Health, among others. This session will focus specifically on the geo-thematic area of agriculture and food security. And so it is my pleasure to introduce our moderator for this session, Zhongchen Chen, I hope I pronounced it correctly, from the Food and Agriculture Organization.
Thank you, Alison. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My team, welcome to join this, to come to the stage. Please. Okay, Wenjiang. Please take seat. Okay. It's an honor to be moderator for the first thematic session on food